Good morning, everyone. Chapter 7, Part 4. How God raises his children. All right, gotta get going here. Got hungry critters. Oh, that's not a good thing to do. The first thing, and this will be the only time I'm going to mention this, because there are so many books out there, this and that, I don't know what. Okay, hang on. Don't you dare. Come on now. Give me a moment here. Back up. Oh, good boy. All right. No child should ever be hit or spanked or anything. Oh gosh, what? What now? Huh? Okay. As a parent of children, you have got to find other ways to love your children. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, yes. The poop is regulating on this dude here. I like to see that. He's had a little bit of problems with change of feed. Mainly because I ran out of his. And then going to hay. It's probably the hay rather than the feed. You pooped in yours. Sheesh, okay. Let's see, how clean is that? And since he's so old, or old timer, the hay can cause some irritation in his stomach, and that most likely was what created a little bit of loose poop. So it looks like he's adjusting, and that is good, right? Yeah. Okay, what's he talking about? So where do I base my don't raise your hand against your own child, or any child for that matter? Because I see, I've had the way I experienced and how God has raised me as a child from early on. And when I review my past and all that, my Father in heaven, my heavenly parent, has never struck me, hit me, or taught me a lesson in a violent manner. Never, ever. So then why are we doing that to our own children? Well, because, all I can tell you is, after 4 children, the third one, and one could say, well, she was so good, this, that. No, I just learned. I learned better. And neither did I spank my other children a whole lot or anything like that, you know. It was like, okay, that's one thing I read. Well, you know, as long as you're not doing it in anger and kind of, and my children could tell you stories where, Mom, you know what, we just cried so that, you know, you kind of had your benefit from it, but you really couldn't hit as hard. You just didn't. And it was just like, you know, that's what they told me. Now, I thought it was effective. Maybe not. Okay. I think that all these ideas out there on how to raise a child when it comes to disciplining a child is limited to time. So that's a quick fix, supposedly. I think that by now, no, it isn't. Oh, so, well, we know all about the anti-authoritative jokes out there, you know. And, I guess that depends on how you view discipline. Yep. Is it to just let the child do whatever because they're exploring and discovering, and then you just, okay, and then whatever, who they hurt or push over, well, so be it, because that's just the way they experience it. Okay, all right. What I found is that when, as a parent, you really take the time, right, to see what's going on with your child, with certain things that are happening, you also figure out, oh, I'm part of the problem. All I can say, this is to just finish that up real quick, because I could, I guess, write a book about it, but why? There's so many books already out there that want to steer you in one direction or another. Right? But the main thing is take time to see what is going on with your child, and then go from there. And don't be surprised that even as a year and a half, 2-year-old, they can understand what you're trying to tell them. Or with actions per se, not violent actions, with positive, I show them, right? And then continue to do that, right? Isn't it with everything? Huh? I'm not a very good painter or anything like that, but if I were to put a little more extra time into it, I could become better. Right? Well, isn't that kind of with children the same thing? If you put your time into it with your children, they become better. But it should be done in an absolute non-violent manner. Right? Does that make sense? And then also what I found often is when I saw some things going on with parents and children, going, okay, you're not willing to take your just an example. You're not willing to just get away from what you were just doing, that your own child becomes an intrusion, and that is cause for discipline. Or if something happens because you can't take the time away from what you're doing right now, the quick fix is what? Exactly. It shouldn't be that way. And it's having nothing but negative consequences for everyone. The one thing that everyone has in common in life is, I was a child once. And what was it that hurt me the most as a child? Got me misunderstood the most as a child? And how was it dealt with? And was it constructive or even more destructive? That's all. That's all one needs to know. Then you go from there. Well, yeah, right? Yes. So. They're all over the food. Maverick, you're going to have to wait now. Yeah, I just fed the chickens. They need to be able to eat first before you get out there and start chasing them all away. Huh? Yes. How does God raise us? Oh, what? Huh? What? This is what? Let me out. I don't want to be petted right now. You got company coming, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. And guess what? I'm going to have them get all them stickers out of you. Yes. You done too? Huh? You done too? That's good. Let me see here. Oh. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better, huh? Yeah? I'm glad you're feeling better. What I found in my life when it comes to God raising me, it's like, He's not attached to the past at all. He has no need to be attached to the past. The only reason we are attached to the past is because we've got to remember where our areas of restoration lie. And that doesn't have anything to do with God, because He's already laid it all out perfectly for us to live in, to thrive in, to grow in the physical and the spiritual. That is a fact. Now, what if you were? What if you are? Oh, maybe you are. It's time to go out. Oh, I gotta put my hand. What if you were given? Not what if. You are. Your choice. You are given a clean, neat, white of paper. Clean, neat, white paper. To write down 3 directives to continue on your life. What would they be? You guys done? Huh? Just about? Now, these directives aren't dependent on your past, per se. Think of your life being a complete void. Okay? And you're the one not to get out of it, but to fill that void now. Now, starting today, day number 1. I just said that that came to me after, okay, all right. And you, 3 directives in your life that you truly want to go towards. Take your time. Take your time to think about those directives. Take your time to write them down. Whatever you are into, meditate on, pray about, take your time. Then write them down. Then study your directives. Okay? It isn't just I'm writing them down, I'm going to follow them. Okay, come on, buddy. You got this. Ooh, I need to check that hoof of yours there. I just noticed. I'll have to wait until he gets back in. Can I have a look at that? Can I have a look? Oh, okay. All right. Oof. Okay. I thought that was something different, so we're good. Still have to check on that, though. Study your own directives. Then look in the mirror and go, okay, what did I just write down? What kind of directives did I just write down? You coming out? Taking your time. Okay. Look at them. Are those directives really what you want? I said, and they don't need to be known to anyone else except for you. And you study them. Study those directives on this absolutely clean slate for you. And look in the mirror. Okay, what did I just do? What are these directives? What do they mean to me? Me. Yeah. I think we're given all through our lives, really, when it comes down to continuously that piece of paper. And freedom of will and to choose decides what these directives are. 3. Could be 1. One enough? Well, when you have a set of 3, then whatever is going on in your life, right? You have again, you have a choice there then to work on or redirect or yes, rather than one thing that may just not be quite possible at the time. And sometimes, without us realizing, if we truly operate on a heart to mind. Now, how is that going to work for someone who doesn't believe in God or, decides that, well, you got to include everyone, including, all the beasts out there and the hybrids, as I call them, then, how do you, well, if one truly has a heart to mind on the right side of good, on the side of good, okay, then you will give yourself directives that do include everyone, yet there has to be some stable foundation in order to achieve that. Yeah. How do you teach a thief not to be a thief? How do you do that? Well, I've said this before. You don't become a part of the sin. Some people don't like that. You don't become a part of the debt. Better? Okay. Does it matter? You don't become a part of the wrong if you just decide, well, even though you just came and took that, even though I did not give you that, even though you just violated my own personal belongings, I'm just going to say, no, I'm not going to be a part of that. The way you're not a part of that is you just let it go. You just give it to them. Then it becomes their debt. You're not a part of that debt anymore. Oh, but, well, folks, that's kind of how it works. So, yes, I get all the, but we have to include everyone. Well, you can do that. You can make that a part of one of your directives, but then you also become a part of their debt. Is that going to help them? If you go after them, if you know, you can always say, excuse me, need to talk to you about this. Right? Then see where that goes. Yeah. So that can be done. But otherwise, if you don't know the person, this, that, how you gonna, so you're willing in one of your directives, maybe, as a, very general one, where you want to be the savior of everyone out there, including the beasts and the hybrids and all that, then how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that without becoming a part of their debt? Because that's what you need to do. That is how you are not accumulating yourself on the sins and debts on top of someone else. When you forgive that debt, do not expect it back. You see? Okay. Oh, that's how it works with it. No, that is an example on how these directives can work, or if you make directives on which way are we going with them. You have a clean slate. There's complete void in your own united. You get to start out with a clean slate. And you have a united physical body and a spirit body. Now, what are those directives that you think you can be a part of? You think you can make some change in it. And again, as I said, you can write them down. Then you need to study them. You need to study your directives. Okay, so how would I do that? How do I do that? Well, frankly, to tell you the truth, I've not done that yet. That's a new concept to me because of this void that I experienced in spirit where I'm going, this is an odd one. What is going on? How's God trying to raise me now? What is going on in my life right now? That God is, instead of, look at your past. Look what you've done. Look at dump, right? He says, not worried about any of that. What are you going to do now, today? Which directives are you going to be a part of and stick with and study, right? To unify people, I guess. All right, that's the next step. To start with, we have, as individuals, we've got to become stronger. Not in fighting others. It's not about fighting others. When we accrue debt, say in the physical, we make a commitment to repay that debt, don't we? And there are many ways to not repay that debt. There are ways. There are ways to get out of that. And many ways on how that is done is to find the fault and the blame on someone else. And that is definitely not God's way. God has never blamed us. For anything. He has never done that. Are there consequences? Well, of course. But these consequences have to do again with unchanging principles in which it doesn't matter what we decide to do. They don't change. The principles of creation and the principles of love in their fundamental original state do not change. So again, in a way, with many things we've done out there as human beings, God looks at it and goes, okay, well, I'll have to just let that go. I'm going to let you do whatever you want. Freedom of will, freedom of choice. I'm going to let you do whatever you want. But I can't be a part of that. I can't be a part of breaking the 10 Commandments. I can't be a part of you not understanding the Lord's Prayer, and I cannot be a part of your debt. What I can do, though, is forgive all your debt. And you can start anew. Can we do that as many times as we need to, as long as we are here on earth? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. Can we do that? Yeah. When I say a clean slate, no more past. You have to be able to 100% forgive your parents for anything they've ever done to you. And just forgiving that debt. I'm not going to keep thinking about stuff like that. I can't. Because it is that debt that your parents accrued because of you, or the way you feel. That's going to be your parents' debt, not yours. So if you set that debt aside and say, well, I'm not going to operate on that debt. And you start your own chapter in your book, a new book. Could be a book today, starting today. Well, by tonight you're going to bed, you're going, already failed. Start it again tomorrow. And you do that every day. Start it again. If that's what you have to do. Eventually you'll get to day 2. You don't think so? Well, if you don't give it a try, you will never know. You will never know. Directives. Write down 3 directives. Oh, no, that's not forgiving about debt. That kind of comes along with as you go along with where you actually want to be, what you want to do. That's also going to depend on your own nature. That's why I'm saying, after you wrote those down, look in the mirror and look at those and see what you actually wrote down. And is that truly the new book, chapter 1, you want to write? Is that it? As you write your own book, if your heart to mind is engaged, if you're willing to study a little bit, things will come your way, no doubt. Then you will start to realize that you automatically are taking care of certain things in your ancestry. But it isn't going to get done by thinking, that's what I have to do to restore my ancestry. This is what I gotta, that's what I'm taking on. You don't need to take on anything. You just forgive all the debt, all the sin, and then you write your own book of absolute goodness on how God wants to raise you as a child. And then will unity happen? Can it be had? Huh? Can it? You gotta give it a try to know, right? All right. Well, that's all I have to say today. Write your own book. Chapter 1. Forgive all debt. And gotta leave it open a little bit. Everyone has their own story to write there. And gosh, amazing. All right, God's love and blessings always. We'll talk to y'all another time. Chapter 7, Part 4, Directives. How God raises his children.